back to Hanratty'S Huddle with your host, Terry Hanratty, the former Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback, Notre Dame All-American. And we are here in, November. Good grief, I say it every week, but time is just shooting by. Election day has passed us,
Thank
Terry.
God, and it was a wonderful election, so we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that, but I mean, it is
We're
good.
getting close to Thanksgiving.
I'm just glad that I'm not getting 50 texts a day asking for money, because...
I have a big Thanksgiving. I feed 18 people.
Okay.
Family. I cook about 40 pounds of turkey.
Oh, nice.
2 birds. I make my own stuffing. I make my own gravy. Mashed potatoes.
And what time should I be there?
We're going to eat probably at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
And if you can grab food from this group I got, you can have it.
I'll be in Rhode Island.
They know how to eat.
Hey, listen.
And when we get closer to Christmas, I got to tell you about my lasagna.
Oh, the lasagna! You told me, you got to.
I'll share with the audience. After Thanksgiving, when we get a little closer to Christmas, I make my lasagna. Has been passed around to my mother's maiden name she's Italian.
Yep.
And her maiden name was Tiberi. Tiberio.
Okay.
Italy, and
nice.
her family makes this type of lasagna that I've never seen made before.
Well, you're gonna have to sneak me a little taste, just so I can, because as you know, I am Italian on my dad's side. My mom is actually German-Irish, but lasagna is one of my favorite Italian foods, and that'll be great. But yeah, Thanksgiving is a great holiday. Listen, you can't go wrong with food and football. And freedom, the freedom that we have in this country, and so that's really what we should be thankful for.
And it should be a Thanksgiving.
Right. It should be a Thanksgiving. And the reason why, go back and look it up, why this was originally planned, this holiday, was really to give thanks and to thank, and we have a lot to be thankful for. And didn't mean to go down this road, but in our servicemen and just the country we live in, the freedoms we have. So, God bless America, and that's it for Hanratty'S Huddle this week. So, all right, Terry, let's get into it. Let's start with Notre Dame, coming off a very tough week, the bye.
We beat bye.
You beat bye.
Beat bye.
You sure? Okay.
But that's something that, we're pretty banged up. A lot of it is season-ending injuries, but I think it's good. I think the timing of the bye was really good. But what scares me is they're playing Florida State. Everybody's going to say, well, Florida State's like 1-7.
They're terrible.
But if you look at that group they have down there, that roster, they are a lot of great athletes. They were preseason ranked number 8.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Something happened. I don't know what.
Yeah,
but there is something there, and when they know they're going to be on national TV at Notre Dame, playing Notre Dame, it's going to. I mean, they're a 26-point dog. I've never seen that in my life.
26.5 now, so that means the money's going on Notre Dame.
And it's just, I hopefully we do all that. I don't bet, but hopefully we make it a nice thing where I can sit up and put my feet up in the air. But this game really scares me.
Okay, well, you're not going to lose the game. I think the 26.5 is a lot of points to lay, and I might just throw a fin on it just for yucks and just so I can say, hey. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's a big spread. But yeah, something is really wrong with Florida State, and I would expect to see massive.
I don't think Notre Dame's ever in their life have had a spread like that against
a team like that. Yeah, a team major. Maybe when they play like the Bowling Greens or even Army, Navy, whatever. But
Northern Illinois.
Not this. Northern Illinois. Okay, that's not. They played last night.
The only blemish on our schedule.
And they won. They're back to 5-4, Northern Illinois. So it's good to say that the team you lost to has a winning record. So. All right, so Florida State, Notre Dame, that's a good game. Game of the week, Alabama, LSU.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, baby.
And I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, they're playing down in Louisiana. So Brian Kelly, who's I'm not a big fan of, they got a lot of talent, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
But Alabama's Alabama. And they've got, and I think they're sort of finally trying to figure out this, the coach.
Yeah.
Does he fit into the deep South? I mean, that's much different from the Northwest. The quality of the difference of fans and the difference of football players and whatnot.
No doubt.
So it's a big adjustment for someone coaching that in that atmosphere.
You're right, Terry. And so we have that's a good game. Penn State, Ohio State. What did you think last week?
I thought Ohio State was Ohio State is really good. They are really good, and I think I can't believe Penn State gets down on the 4-yard line, and they come away with nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, to me, I'm not a big Franklin fan. I think Penn State also has a lot of talent.
Yes, they do.
But I just you got to beat the teams at home. You really do.
I have to say, and James Franklin record against ranked opponents is brutal. And I know the Penn State fan.
It's like 1-9, right?
It's terrible. I think it's worse now. But I mean, there's something about him, and I don't want to speak for you, but it's just something about him that's unlikable.
Well, then he gets in an argument with a student.
Yeah.
Walking off the field and yelling at the kid, "What's your name? What's your name?" Well, the kid would think,
what's he gonna do to him?
Kid wants to get, think he's gonna get suspended. The kid walked away. Why is the head coach arguing with a student in the stands?
Well, that tells you a lot.
You walk away because they were all yelling, "Fire Franklin, fire Franklin."
Yeah, well,
you gonna fight with each one of them? No, you're the adult in the crowd.
Yeah.
Put your head down. You lost the game. And you're making $10 million a year. That's why you're making the big buck. Put your head down and walk into your locker room and go from there. You got another game to play this week.
Yeah, you got 100,000 people in that stadium, and every one of them every Penn State fan was annoyed, and that rightfully so.
You can't. I mean, it was a beautiful day, and everybody, they get 100. That's the second biggest stadium in the country.
Yeah, yep.
And they get over 107,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
they're all in that whiteout, and they got They are really, really proud of their football team, and they thought for sure they were going to come away with a win. They were number 3 playing number 4 at home. Yeah, you got to win that one,
and that's your rival. Yeah, that's a bad. And
the thing is, they really only scored 1 touchdown.
That's true. Yeah,
and they had two field goals, and that was it. That's all the offense they could muster.
Right, and so he's not. And that reaction told me a lot. What he did there, and at the end of the day, they have Washington coming in this week. Washington's having a so-so season, 5-4.
And again, the Pac-10 Big Ten merger, where Washington is traveling the whole way to Penn State.
3,000 miles and to play a conference game.
At least they're going to make money doing that. I mean, if the Washington's volleyball team is flying to Penn State to play their volleyball team in February, where they can't fly into State College because there's 10 feet of snow, they got to fly into Harrisburg and take the bus up from Harrisburg to State College to play a volleyball game.
It's a big. Pennsylvania's a big state too. It's not like
it's about as dumb as you can think of. But that again, we've talked about it before. That's the presidents of the universities who absolutely panicked.
Yep.
When one team went to a conference, they all flew like bandits.
Well, you have a bad combination of presidents who don't know much about athletics. You have an NCAA that is a very weekly run organization. So
I mean, the Pac-10 are some quality big time schools. There's no way in hell that they have to join the Big Ten to survive. The complaint was that they couldn't get the TV contract they wanted. Well, hire someone. Hire Goldman Sachs to come in and negotiate a contract for you.
Figure it out.
There's a way to get around that, and you have a lot of very, very, very wealthy alumni. You can exist for a while.
I will be honest with you. The Big Ten lost me years ago when they added Rutgers. I mean, Rutgers is not a Big Ten school. They
wanted an East Coast wanted East Coast presence. That was it.
Well, and it just to me it was like, this is not for some reason Rutgers football, and they put a lot of guys in the pros. A lot of guys have had great NFL careers coming out of Rutgers, but for some reason Rutgers football just will never, be anything more than Rutgers football. And
it's tough when you're surrounded by all pro teams.
Yeah.
It's like when you go up to Boston College. It's
exactly.
very difficult. Exactly. When you're the 4th ticket that people are going to buy in town, you got the Red Sox, you got the Celtics, you got the hockey team, and remember they had a hockey team, and
that's right.
And now BC, you feel bad for them because it's a great institution,
and they're in the ACC now, which makes no sense either. I'm sorry.
And they have
come on,
and they have their stadium is about 38,000.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. I've been up there for game day.
They're in a beautiful community.
Yeah,
but you can't pound in a nail until you get the okay from the whole community.
Yeah.
So they can't expand their stadium.
Chestnut Hill, no, you're right.
I mean, there are 38,000 seats, and that's it. And they don't even spill that much.
They don't, and they don't. On game day, Lori and I went up to see Zach Allen a couple years ago when Zach was playing there with his folks, and we had a great day, and I was because I've been to a lot of college football games, and it was interesting, parking where we had to park and then take a shuttle over to the stadium, driving through these communities, these beautiful neighborhoods, and I'm thinking to myself, I wonder how they feel about all this activity on game day, because, listen, some of these people just aren't into college football the way we are, so we could put that behind us. Penn State, 13.5-point favorite over Washington. I think that might be I think Penn State might rebound.
Well, the thing is, Franklin is going to try to shut up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's going to want to. Yeah.
So if he can put up 50 points,
right.
he's going to put up 50 points. He's going to want
to lay the wood if he can. Yeah, no doubt. So, all right. So that's our college football synopsis. Let's move on to the NFL. Very interesting game. Starting with tonight, you got the Bengals, the Ravens. Bengals really need this game.
That's my conference, and I go Bengals.
Yeah,
we are Steelers are leading the conference by game right now, but Baltimore is very good.
Baltimore is very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
And we can use all the help we can because we have a brutal schedule coming. The last 8 games are 6 conference teams.
Yeah.
Plus Kansas City and someone else I forget. So it's a brutal second half of the first half we did really well.
Yep.
Exceeded the expectations. Now the second half is going to be something for us.
Yeah, and Denver was having a great year and it has an excellent defense. Went into Baltimore last week and Baltimore just laid the wood on them. 40-something points. So, and Baltimore looks to be peaking. So this is going to be an interesting game tonight. I understand you're rooting
Joe Burrow was playing very well.
He's playing well. Should be a good game. Baltimore's a 6-point favorite. I think Baltimore wins by more than that, but who knows? We'll see. And then your Steelers will have a big game.
A real tester in Washington.
In Washington.
Washington is one of those sleeper teams this year.
They sure are.
And I think they're going to, it's going to be a very difficult game. But, Pittsburgh has added, they got Mike Williams.
Mike Williams from the Jets, yeah.
He's only been there a week, but, they'll still be able to incorporate a couple pass patterns for him during the game.
Oh, yeah.
And they got a edge rusher from Green Bay, and just the same timing and right under the
trade deadline. Yeah.
And, it's going to help a very good defense because you can't build enough depth.
No.
Right. I think they've added 2 really good pieces. I wish they would have got another piece in the offensive line, but you can't ask for everything. And Russell Wilson is playing very well. I didn't think it was going to be that well. I didn't think they should have taken Fields out. I don't think he deserved to be taken out. But Tomlin wanted to find out which one was going to be the guy for that second half, and it looks like Russell Wilson.
Yep, I think you're right, and I think it's a very interesting game. We have the former Redskins, now Commanders. Please change that.
Redskins for me.
Right.
Too old. Oakland Raiders, right?
That's right. I love the Oakland Raiders. They are a 2.5-point favorite. Are the Commanders, Washington? So, but I think the Steelers go in there and win that game. And I think just so we're clear, the player that you refer to from Green Bay is Preston Smith. And that's another good addition for the Steelers. So the Steelers are serious. That's going to be an interesting division, but they should at the very least be a wild card contender after if Baltimore does take that division. So Pittsburgh, Washington, and then I don't know. Are there any other games on your radar for this weekend?
Well, how about your JETSs?
They're at Arizona. They're not going to win. Listen. Actually, if they win, they put themselves back in the hunt for the wild card.
Well, I heard Woody he was on a radio show, and someone asked him, are they going to make the playoffs? And he said, if we play the same way we played the second half last week, we'll make the playoffs.
Yeah, because Woody is such an expert on football. Come on. Joe Douglas was interviewed yesterday. I don't know if you saw this.
No.
He doesn't speak often, but he spoke. I guess he's got to come out, at least twice a year. And he came out and he sounded defeated. He sounded like a guy who was just like somebody when you talk to somebody who hates their job.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of like, So I don't think he wanted to fire Salah. I don't think. Here's my thing. Whether he gets fired or not, I don't think he'll be back. I think it's either he's going to leave on his own accord or Woody will get rid of him. I think it'll be a mutual. I don't think Joe Douglas wants to deal with this anymore. I really don't.
Well, I think, everyone had high expectations for the Jets, me included.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm not a Jet fan.
See, you don't know.
And I thought for sure that they were set with, the wonderful defense.
Look, on paper, you're right, yeah.
And they had the offensive line to protect Rodgers, and Rodgers was healthy, and maybe they're a little lacking in the wide receiver, but they added a couple pieces to that. And we thought for sure that they would be right in the mix. But, as big a surprise as Washington is, it's the biggest disappointment.
Jets are disappointment. And then it's been 50 years of disappointment. So you know what Jets stands for, don't you?
Just
end the season. So, all right. So
looking forward to the draft.
All right, exactly. Well, that's our Super Bowl there. That's when we really feel good about the team. So, and I'm tired of that too. You have the Giants and Panthers. Not a great game, but it's in Germany, 9:30 on Sunday morning. Okay,
Roger Goodell desperately wants to get teams in Europe.
Boy, yeah, he does. He does.
I guess you're expanding the pocketbook, but who wants that travel?
And is there anybody better than Patrick Mahomes? I mean, that team to me they're undefeated, but they don't look that good. I mean, it's just the guy. And
they changed. They got rid of Hill.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have a deep threat, but they somehow, it's all Andy Reid. Andy Reid was ahead of everybody in the draft when he traded up several spots to get Patrick Mahomes. He saw something in Mahomes that no one else saw. And he was right on.
Yeah.
And if you look, I love watching the schemes that he puts together in a game. He will screen with anybody.
Yep.
He'll run an assistant coach if he could possibly put him in the game and run a screen. He screen the tight end, the running backs, the wide receivers, the slow screens, the fast screen. He's always keeping the defense off balance.
Yeah.
And Mahomes is his perfect guy because Patrick is extremely accurate.
Yep.
And he wants to get down slow, bang, hit him with the big one.
He's unbelievable.
I mean, I'll tell you what, he is rivaling the best coach ever.
Yeah.
Andy Reid.
He's getting up there, yeah. You're right.
No doubt in my mind, because what he's done so far, this will be a three-peat for him if they go this year.
Yep.
And he won with Philly, so that would make a total of 4 Super Bowls if they win this year under his belt. And it's going to be, he's going to be right there.
Yeah,
I don't see how you can keep him out of it.
He's building a Hall of Fame resume, there's no doubt about that. So, other interesting games in the NFL this week. There are some really not so interesting games, but 49ers Bucks, okay, in Tampa. That's not bad. Buffalo Colts could be an interesting game. We talked about the Steelers, Commanders. I like the Vikings, and I'm kind of rooting for the Vikings. It's funny because I like both Minnesota and Detroit doing well, and obviously they're in the same division. So
I like Detroit a lot.
Yeah,
I think the Ford family, even though they've had great success in the auto industry, they have done. They haven't won a Super Bowl. One of the few teams that haven't.
Yep.
Them in Cleveland. I don't know if there's another one.
Well, the Chargers haven't. I mean, there's a few.
Or been in one.
I know
so I would like to see, and I think Campbell is really you'd like to see him interviewed. He's very emotional.
But he's real. He's not a phony.
That's a good line.
He's
a
real
person.
Yeah,
he was one hell of a football player.
Yeah, he was. And
he'll never be Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no.
But he was a tough football player.
And that's how he coaches.
His team loves him.
They do love him.
And the defense is playing great without Hutchinson.
Yeah.
He was out for the year. He was on the way to being the defensive player of the year.
They picked up somebody too. They did pick up a replacement. Yeah, that's a big loss for them, and I think Dan's just got to learn. Sometimes you do kick a field goal.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes you take the point.
The little guy over there with the little number, let him in the game every once in a while.
Sometimes 3 points can mean a lot because it can add up. So, and the other game. So the Lions are at Houston. That should be a good game this Sunday night. And the Eagles-Cowboys, now, not a great game. I mean, what we would expect from Eagles-Cowboys in Dallas. But the Eagles are coming off a big win.
Is Dak playing?
Dak is not playing. Dak is out. Dak is going to be put on an injury reserve with
Yeah.
a hamstring. So that backup quarterback, I saw him play against the Giants in person a few years ago. He's pretty good. I mean, the kid is he's smart and he throws a nice ball and he finds the open receivers. So that'll be interesting. But the reason why I want to talk about the Eagles is the Eagles came off a win last week, which was very interesting, beating Jacksonville 28-23. But there was a play in that game that I've never seen before. And
the Giants are replaying it in their mind daily. And every Giant fan is replaying that play. It's something I've watched. I played a lot of football.
Yes.
I've watched films 10 times what I've played in different games and this and that and ad nauseum.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a play that Shaquan.
I've never seen a guy do that. And if you haven't seen the play, go back and look at it. He's running. He gets turned around backwards, and he knows there's a defensive back or somebody coming up to hit him behind, and he leaps up in the air backwards.
Hurdles the defensive back backwards. I've never in all the football that I've watched, I've never seen that. In fact, you realize that hurdling used to be illegal.
That's right. Yeah,
we were on their field. We're playing in Oakland, and Preston Pearson, who was with us before he went to Dallas or Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And he hurdled someone in a game, and they threw the flag. And we said, "What's the story?"
Yeah.
It was illegal to hurdle back in the day.
Wow.
I guess they're worried about, I don't know, there was no other phase of the game. They worried about injuries, so why would they worry then?
And now you see it all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, you see guys
doing it.
I know. There's some guys who are doing it or shouldn't be doing it. Let's be honest. Okay. You're the big guy. Just keep running. By the way, the quarterback, Cooper Rush, is who I was referring to earlier from the Cowboys. I think he's a decent backup. So
Saquon Barkley, I mean, that was
insane.
I mean, he is such a weapon.
What an athlete. I mean, that was
I don't know why the Giants would think of getting rid of him or letting him go.
We talked about it, when they were on a Hard Knock, when I watched the Hard Knocks, and John Mara walked in to Joe Shane's office, the general manager, and Mara said, I'm going to lose sleep over this if we lose him, and if we lose him to the Eagles. I mean, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now he came back, and the guy is, I think he's making them regret the decision. I do. So listen, it's but that's life, and you got to move on.
That's free agency.
That's free agency, man. So
how about the NIL money? Not to jump back to college. You see, now they're putting it on the kids paying their tuition for college. They're putting a little bumper in there for NIL money. And they're putting also season ticket holders for the college team. They're putting a little bumper on there for the NIL money to pay these kids.
Oh, of course they are. They don't want to pay for it. Listen,
and it's just. I guess if your kid is coming to our school and he's got to pay extra for season tickets. If the kid wants to buy the tickets to go to a football game, that's in your tuition bill also.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be plus a few bucks here to pay for the NIL money. And it's just, there's got to be sanity soon here where NIL is not going away, but somehow we have to get a balanced NIL deal.
Yeah, it's
because every team is different, and now you don't want kids making decisions because they're getting another $1,000 over there, or leaving your school because you're going to get another $1,000. It's just something that has to be, again, is it possible to get these presidents of universities together to make a decision that would be sane? I doubt it.
Yeah, it's just not a well-run organization. The whole college football, all NCAA, it's a mess, and it's going to change. There's going to be big changes coming in the next 3 to 5 years. There's no doubt. These big schools, big football schools, are going to be in a conference all on their own. But I said that back in 1998 when I was at the Football Foundation. I could see it coming. I just didn't know it would take this long, and I didn't know NIL was going to be a thing. I got to be honest. So, all right, my friend, it's 3 weeks before Thanksgiving, so
and we have a beautiful fall.
A beautiful fall.
Probably the best I can ever remember.
Yeah, it's great. It's a little too warm for me. I like the cool.
Yes.
I like the brisk air.
It's coming tomorrow.
All right, good. Bring it on, baby.
50 degrees.
All right, so you got to go get your turkey prepped. Start getting your groceries
because I also. In this time of the year, I also start putting my Christmas decorations together.
Oh, me too.
Well, you don't do what I do. I put up about 5,000 lights.
All right.
So there's a lot of ladders involved.
I'll come and observe your house.
I have 3 major trees that are about 16 pine trees that are about 16 feet tall.
Right.
They get all lit up. Then I have some other about 10 feet tall. They get lit up.
Nice.
Then I have other trees around the house that get lit up.
I've seen the outside of your house.
It's a winter wonderful land,
right, well,
wonderland in my.
I love
area.
it. I love the decorations. I have a tree out in the.
It takes forever.
I'm sure.
I've already tested the light bulbs to put up, so they're all in piles where I know they are.
You are Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation.
Yes, I've done that before. Where I've said, okay, this thing I keep blowing a fuse here, and I go, well, if I could tape that down.
Let me tell you.
That's not right.
Let me tell you, when I put Christmas lights out and stuff like that happens, I say to myself, if I ever meet the guy that designed this light bulb, these Christmas lights, I will kill him. I will strangle him. So, all right, my friend, that's it for this week. This is Hanratty'S Huddle signing off for Terry Hanratty. I'm Dave Jeromeo. Everybody have a great week. Enjoy the games and enjoy the great weather. And God bless America.